Two words, Stars fans. Game 7.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans, and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. We're heading to a Game 7 on Sunday night at the American Airlines Center, and it feels fitting because both of these teams are just so even. It is the thinnest of margins between the Vegas Golden Knights and Dallas Stars, and it's a winner-take-all Game 7 on Sunday night. Game 6 was a tough one for the Dallas Stars. They fall by a final score of 2-0, and they had plenty of chances to break the ice. They were just unable to put one home. The goaltending was fantastic. The game in general was fantastic. We're going to get into all of it. We'll talk about Game 7 a bit and all the craziness that went on in Game 6 in Vegas here on Friday night. Today's episode is brought to you by Monopoly Go. This fast-paced game lets you team up with friends for tournaments to unlock awesome prizes like unique stickers for trading, cool playing pieces, and hilarious emojis for taunting your friends. So download Monopoly Go, now free on the Google Play or the App Store, and game on. The first point I want to make here is this is why Bruce Cassidy went to Adin Hill in game number 5. Hill got a game under his belt in game 5. He wasn't great, but got better as it went on. But you get him into the series for this type of game, for an elimination game where you have to have it. And Adin Hill was spectacular. And I don't want to take the shine away from Jake Oettinger, who kept the Stars in it all the way to the end. He was fantastic. The best he's looked in the series. I mean, the first period was all Oettinger. He was the best player for the Stars, unfortunately, but it was a 0-0 hockey game heading to the second period. It was 0-0. 50 minutes into the game until Noah Hanifin finally broke the ice, and unfortunately, it's a ricochet off the shin pad of Suter. Otherwise, it would have gone wide, but it ends up in the back of the net, and it was going to be an ugly one because Hill and Oettinger were just so spectacular, and Vegas ends up coming out on top by a final score of 2-0. The other point is Dallas was way too conservative. They were way too hesitant. They were slow to 50-50 pucks. Vegas was the much faster team. They played with more desperation. Dallas had their moments. It was a real choppy game, which I think favored the Stars in a lot of ways because they just weren't playing their best hockey. Vegas was the much cleaner team, especially through the neutral zone. They were able to attack off the rush a bit more, and Jake Oettinger saved their bacon a ton. But the Stars played really well as the game wore on. The second period was probably their best of the entire night. They ended up outchancing Vegas 12-6 in that period. Unfortunately, just were not able to get one to go. You have the Dadonov breakaway, and he missed the net. Stankoven missed a wide open net. So many chances, and you could say that for Vegas too. Stone had a wide open net, and his shot was blocked by Tanev, and Waugh in front on the little one-timer. I mean, both sides had to be scratching their noggins with the amount of looks they had that they weren't able to get one through either netminder, and whoever was going to score the first goal, it felt like that was going to be the decider. And then of course, Hanifin got it. The Stars in particular, they didn't have a great night defensively. Thomas Harley was a bit off his game. He grades out pretty well actually defensively, but I thought he had a bit of a game to forget for his standards. He wasn't atrocious by any means, but there was a lot of curious plays. They weren't particularly great with their puck possession. The main thing is Dallas has to put more pressure on Vegas. They sat back for the majority of game 6. It felt like they were just taking on water and kind of just feeling their way into the game when Vegas was pushing wave after wave, and eventually they got rewarded for it. The Stars in the first period especially, it was high flips, get it out to neutral, and just survive. And they survived the first period, and it felt like if they were able to get one, you could at least shut it down from there. But there was a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes from multiple guys. But at the end of the day, it was a heck of a game. I mean, that second period where it was going back and forth. I mean, Hill with incredible stops, Oettinger follows suit, and it was something to behold in Vegas. And a credit to the Golden Knights. They never wavered. Look, it was going to be really tough for Dallas to beat this team 4 straight times. That was going to be extremely difficult. And they gave it their best shot, I would say, quotations around that. I don't think Dallas played their best hockey in the game. There was flashes of it, but Vegas deserved the win. They deserved to win that game. And Dallas just didn't execute enough. And that was the reason Adin Hill is in between the pipes. He gave Vegas a elimination game, spectacular. And you look at Hill, his expected goals against 2.44. Otters was 3.3, and he was the only one to blink. And I don't even think he saw the shot from Hanifin. If he did, he would probably have smothered it with the way his night was going. But all in all, I think Vegas just deserved to win. They outchanced the Stars 30-23. Stars just didn't have their legs in the third period. And both teams, for that matter, looked like they were wavering a bit. And physically, you can tell there's some deterioration. And I think that kind of crept into the Stars game a bit. They just didn't have a lot in the third period. It seemed like every 50-50 puck Vegas was getting to, they weren't great in the dots. Vegas ended up 55% in the face-off dots in the game. And yeah, I felt like the Stars just struggled to really put together shift after shift. There was moments where the fourth line would come out and they would have a really, really nice shift. And you're thinking, oh, maybe that's a turning point, but it never seemed like it really turned the game around. And Vegas was excellent defensively too. I thought they limited the Stars' chances in that third period. The expected goals against 0.32 for Vegas. They went back to being pretty clinical too. Even with the extra attacker, I mean, Stars couldn't go anywhere. The shift from Eichel and company was fantastic to really just wind the clock down. And Stars had a look with the extra attacker, but once again, just could not get anything through to Adin Hill. And Vegas was able to close it out. What a game 6, though. And as I mentioned, it feels so fitting that this game is going to 7 games. It is just a battle. It is a battle. The teams are so even. It's the only series that's going 7 games. Well, never mind. I forgot. Toronto forced a game 7. Excuse me. But 2 of the more intriguing series of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So 2 game 7s now, upcoming, one tomorrow night and then a Sunday in Dallas. And now you have to be feeling very positive about the fact that the Stars have home ice advantage here and they are able to play game 7, a win or go home game in front of their own fans. And the American Airlines Center is going to be rocking on Sunday night. There is a puck drop time scheduled for 6:00. So it's an early game, which is great. So that building's going to be packed on the weekend. And we're set up for a phenomenal game 7. It's actually pushed back to 6:30 is puck drop time in Dallas. Vegas outshoots the Stars 30-23 in the game. And they win 2-0. Real intrigued to see what the lineup could be. Faksa was out for warmups here in game 6. maybe that was just to get him out there and skate a bit, but I think he can be an option in Game 7, which you may want. And to just drop this little nugget for you, Pete DeBoer is 7-0 all time in Game 7s. So get ready to hear that at nauseum over the next few days as we gear up for Game 7 on Sunday night. Yeah, I mean, credit to Vegas. Stars played well, just didn't execute. They had looks. And Stankoven, the missed nets, just you knew that was going to come back to hurt you. It's those type of chances that if they don't go, it ends up kind of flipping on its head, and that happens. So here we go. Win or go home time. It's now or never for the Dallas Stars in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's discuss Game 7 here a bit more in just a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. The Dallas Mavericks are moving on. They close out tonight. The Los Angeles Clippers in 6 games. They're heading to the second round. The Stars, the future is still in jeopardy on Sunday night. Go ahead and sprinkle some money on the Mavs to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy, or the Dallas Stars. You maybe can get them for a nice little odd right now as they're heading to a win or take all Game 7. $150, by the way, in bonus bets on any winning $5 bet. It's winner take home time. What are you waiting for, Stars fans? Get in on the action with FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So Game 7 upcoming now on Sunday night between the Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights. The one thing I wonder heading into Sunday is that the best we're going to get from Vegas? I thought they were pretty solid. Their defense for sure was much better than they were in the last 3 games. I thought Pietrangelo had a really nice game. Hanifin, of course, had an impact, but we didn't see a ton of that in the 3 wins for the Stars. They weren't particularly great with puck possession, and I thought the Stars forced them into a lot of turnovers, and they also just fed the Stars attack. I wonder if that's the best you're going to get from Vegas, because I thought the first period was the worst period the Stars played in the series, and they picked it up as it went along. I do feel confident about Dallas that there's another level to the Stars game, and I don't know if you could necessarily say that for Vegas. I thought they played a really, really good game, and I don't know if they can get that again. And can they get that from Adin Hill? History says he probably can, but are you going to get that solid of a game out of Vegas once again? Because I have a hunch that the Stars have the ability to break down this Vegas defense, and have the ability, more importantly, to just play better. I don't think they played their best hockey. I think probably a good argument that it was maybe the worst effort they had in the first 6 games of the series. Maybe Game 2, there's an argument there, but I think as a whole, Game 6 just wasn't up to par in a lot of ways. They just looked like they were kind of easing their way into it, and they were hoping the first goal was going to score itself to some degree, and that changed as it went along. But that third period especially, Vegas just really took control of the tempo. They dictated play, and Dallas just didn't have the puck as much, and they really struggled just working through the Vegas forecheck. I thought the Knights were much better in terms of forcing the Stars into a lot of negative plays, where all Dallas could do was just get it out, or by the time they got the red line, they were exhausted, and they had to dump it in deep and head off for a change. So are we going to get another output by Vegas like we had in Game 6? I'm not as confident in that from Vegas. I'm more confident in the fact that Dallas can play better, and they have played better in this series. I don't know if Vegas can play better than that. And maybe that's a bit naive of me, but they have pedigree. They have pedigree. And I said it multiple times. The series was far from over. Like, Vegas is a very good team. They're very good. I just think Dallas has a higher ceiling. I think they can elevate their play. And I expect a heck of a response in Game 7 on home ice. So I feel rather positive about Sunday night. I felt really good coming in to tonight of Game 6. I had the confidence, and I thought the Stars just had a little swagger about them that, yeah, they were going to go in there and get the job done. The start was horrible, though. The start was horrible. And that hasn't been a theme in the series, even though they've given up the first goal a few times, but their starts have been particularly good. This time it was Jake Oettinger. It seemed flip-flop, like Otter was just on fire, and he was great. And unfortunately, the loss kind of puts a blanket over his performance, but he was really good. Makes 29 saves on the night, and Vegas was able to get one through thanks to Hanifin, and that's all they needed. Miro didn't have a great night. He ended up grading out the worst. Minus 1.07. You don't see that happening again for Miro. I thought there were some tough performances from multiple guys, and I think there is there's a little fatigue setting in. Look, especially with Miro and Harley, they're playing a lot of big minutes. They're playing in key situations, and I talked about this at nauseum too with the 5-man unit. It's going to take its toll. It's going to it's already showing here in this series. And if they happen to get on past against Vegas, they have to find another option. It's not going to be viable. And I think Vegas is taking that into effect in game planning for it. Just tire the Stars out, tire the defense out. And there was a few shifts where Stars got caught, and it really hobbled a few guys. And the Stars defensively, you could tell were feeling, and they still played admirably. I don't want to take that away from them. I thought they had good sticks. They were physical. They still boxed out really well. At the end of the day, Vegas they scored. They scored. And sometimes that's all these games come down to, because it was a thrilling Game 6. But now you have to get the job done in a winner-take-all game on Sunday night. So certainly looking forward to it, and it just feels apropos that this series is going Game 7. That was a nerve-wracking game. It was a battle too, and that's a tough ask to beat the defending Stanley Cup champs 4 games in a row. Hasn't been done very much, but they gave it an effort. They certainly gave it an effort, but I don't think it was their best. I think the Stars can elevate and get to a position where they can dictate play and pressure Vegas a lot more. There wasn't a whole lot of that in the game. Looking back, there wasn't. It's like, okay, they're on them now. They're like shift after shift. There wasn't enough of it. There wasn't enough of it. And I hope they take control of the spotlight. They take control of it and really put the game in their hands. Put the game in their hands, not Vegas. Because Vegas deserved to win. They deserved to win Game 6, and they played great. They played great on home ice, and they defended home ice. Time for the Stars to do it again. Now it's time for someone to be a hero, right? Who's going to be the guy? Wyatt Johnston was the Game 7 hero last year against Seattle, and the Stars are going to look for another one here on Sunday night. Who's it going to be, Stars fans? Let me know. I would love for it to be a litany of guys. Let's discuss that more in just a moment. Alrighty, game off, Stars fans. We have to talk about Monopoly Go. I know what you're saying, flag on the play. You've already talked about that. But hey, there is so much great stuff in this game. In Monopoly Go, you can team up with friends for time tournaments where you work together to build up each other's boards. The more you win together, the more awesome prizes you unlock. And there's always so much to get. You got unique stickers you can trade with, friend to complete albums for big prizes, cool new playing pieces to travel the boards with, and hilarious emojis for taunting friends when you smash their buildings or heist their vaults. Plus, Monopoly Go feels new and exciting every day with constantly changing tournaments and challenges. A ton include their own unique mini games like digging for treasure. And there's always new timed events that help you win big, like massive multipliers for everything you win or rent frenzies. Go ahead and take out your smartphone, go to the Google Play Store, go to the App Store, and download Monopoly Go. It takes 30 seconds. There's always something fun to discover in Monopoly Go. So get off the bench and go download it now on Google Play or the App Store. Game on, Stars fans. Game on indeed. Game on indeed. I don't know about y'all. I'm super excited about Game 7. I hate it. I feel like I'm gonna puke once puck drops on Sunday, but I feel like this is a perfect representation of the Stars season, and they sort of have to get past Vegas. They have to exercise this demon, and if they do that, then who knows what lies ahead. And I think that chance is super exciting, and I hope the room sees it as that way, as motivation to just seize the moment and for someone to be a hero. I thought Wyatt Johnston was going to have a huge third period tonight, and unfortunately, it really never came to fruition. And I thought Vegas did a wonderful job of neutralizing that line specifically. It felt like the top line, I'll have to check some of the numbers, had some of the better looks in the game. Unfortunately, Pavelski, the age is really starting to show with him. He is just really struggling to find his footing in this series. But I thought Robo and Rope had some life. The scoring chances, 5 and 5 for the Johnston line and Pavelski. So it was even. But I mean, you're talking in the previous 3 games, the Johnston line like over 8 scoring chances themselves, and they only had 5. And that's what I mean by I don't know if Vegas can replicate that again. I just think Dallas is too good and too deep offensively. I don't see them getting snubbed. And they had looks, and Adin Hill answered every bell. Can he do that again in Game 7? And if you get that version of Otter again, the Stars are going to be very, very tough to beat. I have the feeling that maybe that's Vegas's best effort that they can provide at this moment, and I just think the Stars have more in them, and I feel confident heading into Game 7. I truly do, because I think they've proven they're the better team in this series, and the better team doesn't always win. And maybe that's why we're having a Game 7. The better team will prevail, and I think you just have to live with that. You have to live with that. It is a tough series. There is not a lot of room out there. There's a lot of fatigue on both ends, and we're in for a heck of a hockey game on Sunday night. And Game 6 brought some fireworks. Oh, gosh. And all you can think about is the chances. The Miro breakaway, I didn't even mention that, out of the box. Just so many looks, man. So many looks. Oh, and Yeah, I just felt like who's ever going to score was going to win that game. Whoever's going to score first. And Noah Hanifin is the one to break the tie. Yeah, not a whole lot to really break down. And at this point, it's it's win or go home time. And I think that's beautiful. And it just feels like 53 is going to be a hero of some capacity. He's going to have his fingerprints all over Sunday night, Stars fans. Do not worry. Wyatt Johnston and company are going to respond at home at the American Airlines Center. We know all the DFW faithful is going to show up. Wyatt Johnston going to put the team on his back. He's going to have himself a game, and the Dallas Stars are going to prevail. They're going to, I feel really good about it. And I'm okay with being wrong. I'm okay coming on here early Monday morning or Sunday night when I post the episode. And hey, they just got beat by a better team. But through 6 games, I think Dallas is, I think they're the better team. And they have to show it. They have to show it in game 7. They didn't show it here tonight. And Vegas was on the brink. They had their backs against the wall, and they were able to get a win. And now Dallas has a chance to punch back. It's been punch, counter punch in this series, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a game 7. Some more numbers for you coming out of the game, and some of the way the Stars graded out. The highest star was Harley at 0.91, and I didn't think he had his best game. Other than that, Stars are really kept at bay. Stankoven was the highest graded forward at 0.47, and he had some good looks. He really had some of the better looks in the game. But at 5-on-5, credit to Vegas, they outplayed the Stars for a large portion of the game. And so Dallas just has to be better. They have to force the issue. And I've said that so many times throughout the series, but you just have to pressure every inch of the sheet and good things will happen for you. And I feel they didn't do that enough here tonight. And it's a credit to Vegas too. They're a really, really good team. So Pete DeBoer has to make some adjustments, and the Stars do. And Pete did it the last 3 games. He needs to have his biggest one here in game 7. What's the availability of Faksa and Marchment? They were both at mandatory practice. Now I'm intrigued to see if Faksa's ready to go. I think Faksa for Steele would be a great replacement. You get a guy in there that can take some draws. Faksa can penalty kill for you too if need be. I think Faksa would be great in a game 7. It's just the style of play. Steele hasn't been as noticeable. Delandry, I think, deserves to be in the lineup along with Smith. They've been really good. I think if Fox is good enough to go, I would love to see him back in the lineup. I feel like he was good enough to go, but Pete just wanted to rock and roll. And you get him another day's rest. Marchment would be a heck of a return too, just to add a little physicality and some fresh legs. So I think if you can get Faksa back in, you get some energy back into that fourth line who had some quality shifts in the game, and hopefully they can set a tone for you in game 7. I'm so confident in the ability for the Stars to take their game to a next level. And that's kind of the main point I'm making here, Stars fans. There's no need to worry. No need to worry until puck drop. Then we're going to be on the edge of our seat for 3 hours, which will always lead to some excitement. But I have a firm belief that the Stars are going to play much better than they did here tonight. And hopefully it's enough to end up on the right side of the results. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. That's what I'm going to leave you with here, along with Pete DeBoer 7-0 all time in game 7s. And at this point in his Stars tenure, the biggest Game 7 of his career on Sunday night. Puck drop 6:30 in Dallas. Vegas versus Dallas, a fitting in to what has been a wonderful series so far. Game 7, man, the two most exciting words in sports, or whatever they say, except if your team's in Game 7. I hate it. Feel like you're going to puke the entire time, but woo, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see the Stars exercise that demon and just feel the jubilation of taking down the defending Stanley Cup champs. That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope this sees the moment. So a lot to look forward to, Stars fans. There really, really is. It sucks you weren't able to close it out. It does. But you have another opportunity here. Make Vegas beat you two times in a row. I know they did it once, but make them do it again. So yeah, that'll do it for today's episode. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. And hopefully when I come to you next, we're talking about moving on to the second round. That would be awesome. And we can continue this. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You've all been fantastic over the last few weeks. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on JoeTheJet19 on Twitter. You can follow Locked On Stars on Twitter as well. And we'll take a big breath, okay? We'll all take a giant exhale with me. Game 7. Alrighty, Stars fans. Enjoy Saturday. Enjoy it. And then it's business on Sunday. So long, Stars fans.